In this video we'll be taking a look at the Zhongyi Speedmaster 17mm T1.0. It's a fully manual cine lens with a super fast aperture and really creamy bokeh. And if you're considering getting into using cine lenses, this might be the one to get as your first one. Let's talk about it. If you're new here, my name is Sebastian and welcome to the channel. So Zhongyi reached out to me and asked if I wanted to test this lens out. And I said yes. It's a loaner, I don't get to keep it and they don't have any input on this video. Let's start with the build quality. As you'd expect from a cine lens, it is a fully metal build. It has a nice weight to it and feels very solid overall, and has a 77mm filter thread. The focus and aperture rings are geared and the focus throw is 180 degrees. The focus ring is nicely dampened, also for operating by hand without a follow focus. And I can't help thinking this lens just looks pretty cool on my camera. Not that it's important in any way, but you know, it's nice. However, the aperture ring is a little close to the body for me, and there's a little bit of play on the focus ring, but that might be just my particular copy. Focus breathing is very well controlled. It is visible, but it's very minimal, which is one of the more important reasons to use cine lenses in the first place. Cine lenses tend to have a lot less focus breathing compared to some other photography lenses. They are designed to make it possible to do focus pulls without the cropping effect that focus breathing can have with some lenses. It does suffer from flaring quite a bit, in the sense that when the light source is just out of frame, you get a significant loss of contrast across the image. The headline feature of this lens is of course the very fast aperture of T1.0. This gives you tons of light and a very shallow depth of field when shooting wide open. It's also quite soft at T1.0. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I do in fact quite like the softness, but it's not suitable for every type of shot. It does get sharper though by stopping down a little bit to T1.4, which is still quite wide. This lens has really creamy bokeh, or out of focus areas. In my opinion, this is another great feature of this lens. It looks very dreamy and smooth. And color rendition also looks very pleasing to my eyes. Something that really caught my eye was the minimum focusing distance. It's 30 centimeters, which is quite close for a cine lens. It means that you can get really close to your subject with this lens, and something I can't do with my DZOfilm lenses that I talked about a while ago. The 17mm focal length is one of my favorites. It's very versatile because it's wide enough for establishing shots, for example, but also for things like interviews. In fact, I shoot 90% of my talking head videos at 17mm. There are some alternatives on the market that are in the same price range, the Meike 16mm T2.2 and the SLR Magic 17mm T1.5 for example. I haven't used those lenses, but only the SLR Magic comes close to the fast aperture of the Zhongyi. There's not really an equivalent 17mm cine lens on the market with such a fast aperture if you're looking for that. Overall, I think this is a great option if you're looking for a super fast prime cine lens. It's very well built, has super smooth bokeh, if that's what you're after. It's good for low light situations and for when you want some very shallow depth of field. It is, however, a lens with a very distinct look. It's a bit soft and has significant flaring, so it's not a particularly all-round lens. But the creamy bokeh, affordable price and the versatile focal length of 70mm make it a great starter cine lens, or a great addition to your already existing cine lens collection. Let me know if you use cine lenses, and if so, what type of videos are you using them for? There's a link to this lens in the description if you're interested, and if you have any questions, ask me in the comments. I hope this video was helpful. If so, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and maybe hit that notification bell, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.